In academic scholarship, sources are always cited, and methodology and theoretical assumptions are set out so as to allow critical study, replication, and expansion of scholarship. In open source software, the code in which program is written can be viewed and modified by individual users for their purposes without getting permission from the producer or paying a fee. In contrast, the code of proprietary software is kept secret and the modifications can be made only by the producer for a fee. This shows that open source software better matches the values embodied in academic scholarship, and since scholarship is central to the mission of universities, universities should use only open source software. All right, so first step, argument of facts. Clearly, we have an argument here. And the conclusion is that universities should use only open source software. And how do we know that? Well, scholarship is central to the mission of universities, right? Premise introduced by Since. But even before that, we had this discussion about academic scholarship and software, open source versus proprietary software. And then subsidiary conclusion, this shows that open source software better matches the values embodied in academic scholarship. Since scholarship is central to the mission of universities, universities should use only open source software. So moving to the question stem, the commentator's reasoning most closely conforms to which one of the following principles? Most closely conforms. This is an illustration question. Again, a type of must be true question. And you also notice the word principle. So it's actually a principle illustration question. So again, most closely conforms. The answer choice has to capture what we just encountered in the passage. So that's why I say it's a type of must be true question. Make sure it applies to what the commentator just told us. So let's take a look at A. Whatever software tools are most advanced and can achieve the goals of academic scholarship are the ones that should alone be used in universities. Is this about being most advanced? And you notice it's not. So A does not apply to what we saw in the passage, so A would be eliminated. B, universities should use the type of software technology that is least expensive as long as that type of software technology is adequate for the purposes of academic scholarship. And again, this is not about it being least expensive. So B would be eliminated. C, universities should choose the type of software technology that best matches the values embodied in the activities that are central to the mission of the universities. And you notice C applies to what we saw in the passage. The reason the commentator is telling us that universities should use only open source software is that open source software is much like academic scholarship. We had that analogy in the first part of the passage. And then it tells us that this shows, subsidiary conclusion, that the software, open source software, better matches the values embodied in academic scholarship. And since scholarship is central to the mission of universities, C tells us that universities should choose the type of software that best matches the values embodied in the activities that are central to the mission of universities. Again, that's scholarship. Open source software matches the values embodied in scholarship. Therefore, C is the correct answer. It is the principle that the passage conforms to, so C is clearly correct. But again, just making sure, checking D, the form of software technology that best matches the values embodied in the activities that are central to the mission of universities is a form of software technology that is most efficient for universities to use. Again, not about it being most efficient, it's about it matching the values embodied in academic scholarship and that being central to the mission of universities. So D is out. E, a university should not pursue any activity that would block the achievement of the goals of academic scholarship at that university. And again, not about proprietary software blocking the goals. So E does not apply to what we saw in the passage, so E would be eliminated.